Hey everybody, welcome to the Monday Night Live webcast from Forge and Narrative. My name is Paul Murphy. I got Justin Troop with me tonight.
Get it.
Hey man,
There
what's
it
going
is.
on? Largest arms in 40K. I mean,
Yes.
I'm willing to bet I want anybody to come test you. Anybody.
Yeah, I don't think anybody out there is pushing the old inches.
And playing 40K, that's for sure.
Yeah, I had a Maxima and I had 20s on it, and I used to always make that joke. I keep my rims like my arms.
All right, guys, for you tuning in now, we're actually going to make this a short broadcast tonight. It's my fault, though. I'm not feeling well. But we still wanted to bring this out.
Paul is human.
And,
You've heard it here first, folks.
One of those, man, it's just, again, one of those, and I apologize. But, hey, we're going to make this fun. We're going to make it exciting. We're going to get as many questions as we can in the Q&A. I also want to talk about the tournament that I'm planning for this past weekend. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter at Warmaster_TPM, but I posted up some work in progress shots from my Samael that I'm doing to match my Luna Wolf army.
Yeah, he's looking fresh, man. I'm really digging it.
Yeah, that model, it's a fine cast model, and after I had it all primed up, I actually carved off all the Dark Angel symbols too, because again, he is a Dark Angel, but I'm not using him as a Dark Angel.
Okay.
So I carved off all the symbols, and so there's even less detail on the model. And then it being fine cast, some of the stuff was kind of difficult to make out. I'm like, man, I don't even know where I'm going to start. But I just got in there, started painting, and ended up having a pretty good time with it. Yeah, and he's looking all right.
Yeah, he turned out all right for sure. I mean, he's pretty close to tabletop, I think, is what you call tabletop.
Yeah.
I'd call him tabletop right now, but
I want to get him a little bit like I did that. You know, I've got an airbrush, so I did the quick, just power sword look. I experiment with none of my power swords look the same.
Well, that's good though. It makes them, a little bit of uniqueness to him.
I guess. All my Grey Knight Nemesis force weapons look the same because they were all part of an army. But if I've got like 3 characters in an army, the power swords are probably going to look different.
Yeah, I find myself doing that sometimes too. Like I'll do some of the gradients in blues. I'll do some in purple, some in greens. I've done a few in red. It breaks it up. I like it. I do the same.
Yeah. So, looking forward to putting them on the tables, to read up on all my rules. It's one of those things that the Dark Angels have a lot of rules, especially Ravenwing.
Yeah.
And if you're not really down with that and up on your rules, it'll seem kind of confusing. Like, where do they get their extra +1 to their cover save? Do you know?
Their cover save one comes from...
Where does the Ravenwing Command Squad get their Jinx save, their better Jinx save from?
I think it's the formation, I thought.
Skilled Rider.
Oh, okay. Even better.
So we know that. You know what it is, but I'm just saying, I'm just going down the length of why. So before every tournament, and this is just some tips that I use, I go over every psychic power tree I have access to if I plan on using any, and I go over every rule every special rule in my army just to make sure I know it in and out. So in case there's a situation that comes up where it really matters, the particulars matter, that I've got that, somewhere in the back of my head that I can easily call it up.
Yeah, that's good, man. Because I thought it was from the formation, but
it's Skilled Rider.
Yeah.
Gives +1 to the Jinx save. The Land Speeder that I'm taking, the Dark Shroud Land Speeder, gives them Stealth, which gives them an additional +1.
Yeah.
And then they get to re-roll their Jinx save. So it is a 2+ re-rollable Jinx save.
And that's the formation rule. Or is that the Ravenwing rule?
No, that's the Ravenwing rule.
Okay.
The formation rule basically just lets you kind of get around the Force Org slot. What it does is it allows you to essentially turbo boost and still fire your weapons.
Okay, so that's okay. So you're not penalized for snapshots, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, that's a lot of like different USRs in different spots.
Yeah, so you know how the end result, you know how it functions at the end of on the tabletop, but knowing how those rules line up, I just before every tournament, I go through and I read everything just so I have it clear.
Yeah. Hey man, that's good tech right there. Write that down, everybody.
Yeah. So my plan is to have a 2+ armor save guy out in front, a chapter master.
Of course.
Looking out, sir, to the guy with the 2+ rerollable cover save.
Got it.
So it's essentially like a rerollable 1+.
Yeah, I mean that was it like 1 in 72. You're going to take a wound, I believe. At that point,
it's not good odds
yeah.
for the guy shooting.
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah, hey, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
but that is my plan.
You will eventually take wounds and stuff like that. It's
well, with anything you play, where you get around, start shooting up the gushy center. And remember, Samael doesn't have a 2+ save.
Yeah, he's just the 3-up. But the Eternal Warrior is usually
he has Scout Rider, Eternal Warrior. He's a Raven Wing, so he's got a cover save. He has a 3-up.
Yeah,
that he can roll. I'd still rather him have a 2-up, 2-up.
Oh, well, yeah, naturally. What's nice about him, though, is sometimes you got to worry about like that last cannon or something like that. So there's ways you can use Samael to position if you're going to take a wound from your right flank, your left flank.
Yeah, if he's in the unit, he's going to get the benefits from the shroud, the Death Shroud Speeder also.
Yeah,
but it's just I'm thinking about when I Voltron out, where everything needs to go.
Yeah, you gotta. It's a tough. It's a very finesse list to play. It's in theme with the Super Friends, with the Voltron moves, the big beefy Death Star. It's got USRs for days.
He's getting the rescue again. He says also gives you the auto arrive turn 2. We still get the auto jink and you can outflank. Yes, I don't have enough of that formation to really have that be a factor in the list, but yes, it does give you some extra rules.
Yeah, Dean. Yeah, straight up freaking OG Dark Angel.
Thank you for helping us. Yeah, that's true.
That dude is like first Legion till the day he dies.
Yeah, Kent saying he just got a bunch of miniatures painted. Time to start getting more miniatures.
Yeah, dude. One of the things that I'm starting to do is I hide my models from myself because I got this massive problem where, oh look, and I've yet to finish even like my Dante. He's been like this for like 6 months. I don't even know.
Sal's asking, he said, can I give some tips on how I did the highlight on that weapon? I would be happy to. That weapon, what I did standard-wise was get 2 pieces of masking tape, and I just tore it in half, and I used the flat side, and I lined the flat side up on one blade, and I put the other on the other side. There's like 100 tutorials on how to do that, just to get the fade on either side. So I get a little bit of Lothran blue, sprayed it at the very top half of the weapon. Remember, it's only hitting half the blade because the other half is masked off. Sprayed that. Then I flipped it over, did the bottom half. Now remember, your masking tape comes together almost like a sandwich. So like here's the sword blade. I use my iPhone. Like here's the sword blade. You mask off half of it on this side, and then the other half on the other side. Paint the whatever part you want faded, and then flip it over, and then paint the bottom part. So then it all kind of looks like you're crisscrossing with the fade. But then what I did kind of extra special was I mixed some white paint in with the blue paint after I did that white fade at the very, very tips, and then edge lined it around the interesting parts. Like I used a Chaos Warrior Fantasy Battle sword because it's got those cool little Mephiston-like prongs that go off the side.
Yeah, that's the sword I thought you were using at first, but you had mentioned it, and then careful looking. But yeah, when you're making chapter masters and stuff, like use the entire GW range.
Yeah,
there's so many cool swords out there.
Well, this model came Finecast, and the Finecast little sword, the Raven sword, is so spindly. Like it was, I looked at it funny, and it fell right off. That's exactly what happened. True story. I looked at it funny, and it fell off. I got it when it came to me. It was in perfect condition. I looked at it, and it just essentially fell off. So I cut it off at the hand. This is if you're playing with Samael and you'll be traveling with him. I cut it off at the hand and replaced a whole hand on there, plastic weapon.
Nice, yeah.
So a little stirdier, and that Chaos Warrior hand was perfect.
That's awesome, man. I noticed like some of my I have Epidemus in Finecast, and I hate it because I look at it and same thing. Like his banners, they'll snap, they'll bend, they'll bow and warp. I get so upset because that's such a cool looking model.
Yeah, but I had fun painting them. I'm gonna have fun using them on the. I mean, it's like firing that plasma cannon off of you. I mean, how cool is that?
This is true.
Although I was doing math today, is like, how do I fire that thing and get hot and not kill myself? Like, what do I even fire it? I'm like stressing out. Like, is that going to be the whatever?
The one wound that takes Samael down.
Yeah, I was stressing it hard for like 5 minutes, like whether or not I should even try to convince myself.
You got to. There's no way you can't use it.
Yeah.
It's like the only plasma cannon mounted to a freaking jet bike. You have to do that.
I did some OSL effects on the bottom of that thing too, because I figure if I when I flipped it over, it's on the bottom side, so I figured I could get kind of crazy with my spray, so I guess I didn't ruin the whole model. But it looks nice.
That's awesome, man.
But don't be afraid for people out there. It's like, I'm not great at this stuff, and you guys know that I'm not great at it, but I try it because I want my models to look good. And what's the worst case? I got to repaint the model.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan of trying to like use different techniques, try different products, do everything different until you can really like make your own style. And you know, it's for me like years in the making, and I still don't think I've finally like mastered like my style of painting, but I know I'm getting close.
Yeah, I mean, I look kind of thinking the same thing. So I look back and I've painted. I can tell when I'm painting in a rush. My rush painting is a style. It's like very similar to Goat Boy's. Like I can paint Goat Boy style, but maybe not the same speed that he can. But my speed painting is like Goat Boy style.
Yeah.
My sit down and really think about it painting is a lot cleaner, and I don't have anybody that I can label to as that's their style. I would not label a better painter, you know, saying that that's that I can do what he can do or whatever. But when I really take my time, I get a much cleaner effect that I like. You know, I got meditation, got to light some incense candles and play some soothing music or whatever.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, what was I listening to today? Oh, I can't remember. It's going to kill me. I'm going to remember at 2 a.m. and I'm going to post it on Facebook. Yeah. Spin Doctors. That's what it was.
You listen to the Spin Doctors to calm down?
No, I'm sitting at work and I was like, God, like I've really listened to Iron Maiden too much lately. I know, like that's blasphemy, right? And I was like,
what's too much? How many times did you listen to Can I Play with Madness?
I have a 3-hour clip of like all Iron Maiden that I found on YouTube, and I've listened to it for 3 weeks straight.
Okay.
At work. So I turned around to my buddy behind me and I was like, hey man, like I need to listen to something new right now. Like I'm a little Iron Maidened out. He's like, Spin Doctors. And I was like, that was so random. I have to. I regret it every minute.
Man, okay. Let me tell you this. I'm afraid to let this out. But there's an organization called the AV Club, and they get in kind of in alternative indie artists to come in and play, and some mainstream stuff that you might recognize only because they've been so awesome in the indie stuff. But they get them to come and play mainstream hits. And there's a cover of "Shake It Off," Taylor Swift "Shake It Off." I think it's the Screaming Females does. I listened to it like 5 times in a row.
That's my jam.
And I never even heard the other song before. This is better.
I bold statement, Cotton, because I listen to me some Taylor Swift. I'm
gonna send you the link after the show, man. I'm telling you, it is like that girl singing can bring it.
Nice.
Anyway, I know we got one off on a tangent. Sal, thank you very much for the compliments on the Power Sword. I enjoyed painting it. It's fun to do. Troy has robot legs.
Power Swords to Taylor Swift. That's that's where we've gone.
Hey, sometimes you just go, you know. Ash, man, really good to see you. Hope you can make it in to this big local tournament we're going to be having soon. Sal says that he wants to arm wrestle the Adepticon.
Oh, you're done, Chief. You're done. Hey, it's already over. Like, I already broke your wrist. Go to the hospital.
Okay, Skyhammer Annihilation Force, max models or minimum. Okay, listen to me. Minimum Assault Squad, maximize your Devastator squads. Only to Combat Squad. So because even the bolter shots cause the effect, their psychology effect.
Yes, I like that because you're manipulating more things on the battlefield. I actually do go the complete opposite route. I like to maximize my assault squad and combat squad them and just put bolters on the 5-man dev squad. That's how I do it. All
right. Now, once you start adding those grav amps and stuff, it does get very, very pricey.
Yeah, you got to keep it cheap, I think, because it's, you can invest over 1,000 points into that, just that formation. And when you think about the grand scheme of things, 4 units That's to me, that's not worth it. You're screwing yourself in the long game.
Well, Kevin, you got two answers. One of them's right, and one of them is probably not right.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That's two very good strategies. It depends on what you're going to be fighting, what you think you're going to be facing.
Yeah, it depends on your play style, your meta a little bit. You know, I like to punch things, so
yeah,
I generally go a little bit heavier on the punchy side.
The power fist and then two eviscerators.
Yeah, like I kid him out like all the way. Power fist, two eviscerators, and then we're ready to rock.
Yeah, I mean, so it definitely is. That's a strategy you can do. And I like forcing things to manipulate on the field, and as the armies change, as your environment changes.
Yeah, like the way that my brain works on that too, just to like clarify it a little bit more too, is I put the eviscerators and the power fist in the same squad, and those go after certain things, and then just chain swords, bullet pistols, they go after other things. Yep. And that way, like I feel like I'm more in control at that point. Like you got like some, we'll say like fire warriors or just some like little measly peasily squad that I can go in there and sit 2 or 3 rounds of combat, and I'm not going to kill you, but you're not going to do anything else. I'll eventually kill you probably. That's kind of how I like to do it.
I got a nugget of wisdom to drop from Araman. Araman making his presence known. Knowledge is power, but power is nothing without purpose. You may hold in your hand the power to remake all things, but if you do not know what you would change, you hold nothing at all. That's a direct quote from Aaron.
It sounds pretty inspiring, actually.
Yeah. And Steve Booley, who's asking us, will there be individual winners for the different brackets or tiers? Yes, there is. Still trying to you remember the last one, how deep we prized. We gave away 12, 15 type prizes. I want to have something similar to that, but one of those will be of the various brackets, however we determine to make that happen. The bracketing system, if I have my way, which is, let's just say I'm trying to put everything I can into the event, it's going to be like a tournament within a tournament, to where you're able to just kind of float through as if you were always playing for your overall, but you'll know where you are in competition for this other field. And we want that other field to be, again, just as prestigious as the other prizes you can get. And speaking of prizes and stuff, man, I want to give just a huge shout out to both Gigabytes Cafe, one of the local places helping to sponsor and be a part of the event, and Dicehead, who has a web store. So if you're thinking about I never pitch, you guys, I never pitch like this on air, but I want to let you know that Dicehead is going above and beyond helping this event. They're letting us use a lot of their terrain, which saves so much time and so much money to get this up and going. So please, you guys, if you're watching and listening and plan on ordering online for any Warhammer stuff or any game stuff in general, please hit up Dicehead.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. They're the folks that run the ATC. Nicest people out there in the gaming like retail community that I've ever encountered. And you're gonna get stuff what you want, hopefully when you want it.
Yeah.
Big favor to us if you do support them.
Yeah, definitely. You check them out. Like, I mean, ever since I moved over here to the East Coast, like I've swapped. I used to buy from Frontline a lot because I was a lot closer to them. Now it's just not feasible. I don't see stuff for a week sometimes. I switched it to Dicehead, man. There's days where like I get it like in 2 days. I'll order it Thursday night, Saturday morning. It's on my doorstep. It's ridiculous.
William, man, good to see you. I'm glad you're back on. Yes, there will be delivering some serious Corvus Hammer action going down this weekend.
Yeah,
going as it is going to be brutal on some folks. I know I'm going to run into some war convocations. I know I'm going to run into some night lists. I know this is going to be tough. But I'm prepared. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to roll over there and I'm going to tear heads off.
Yeah, I think people are going to sleep on them Corvus Hammers, and that's going to be the last time they ever do it.
I hope it makes that much of a difference.
I really think it will, man. Like, I remember when Dark Angels first came out in 6th edition, and I had a buddy, man, good buddy of mine. He played like pure Ravenwing, and he just he was throwing them grenades out that modified your toughness and this and that.
I wish they still did that.
Oh, man, and he just came through, and he was just smacking you across the head. I was like, what is going on?
I was in serious brew mode, And I remembered in the back of my head, like, they get rad. They get something rad. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna, and I was just pen and a pad, man, just scribbling it out. Then I go back and check what the new rule was, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it changed dramatically. I mean, it's unfortunate, but they got better. So, they're actually playable.
They're great. I'm not really complaining. More along the lines of like, okay, they caught me. They knew what I was going to do.
Yeah, I think if they would have kept that with the changes that they just got, that would have been it. Like that would have just been just a touch too much.
Justin's echoing you. He's like, hey, make sure you fire that cannon because people don't expect it. I bet you're right.
Yeah,
I bet you're right.
Yeah, you throw that little pie plate out there, man. It'll make people think.
It's going on the way in. Well, it's okay. Now with his charge range though, the +3 on the charge, that dude is showing up my warlord.
You do suck at charges.
I failed a lot of 5-inch charges. Like it's more than an obscene amount. Now, you got to play a lot of games to fail as much as I do, so there's that. But this guy's not going to fail the 5-inch charge.
I don't think I've ever failed anything that low, but no, I did once, but it was my fault because I didn't know the rules of that assassin.
Do you want to hear the whole list?
The
whole list.
Yeah, you're the one that you're taking to Redstone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me bring this up.
Oh yeah, because that's the the fluff breaker.
Oh, because I got Space Wolves. Okay, so I've got Space Marines, Chapter Master, the whole deal, Thunderhammer, Scout Squad, in a Land Speeder Storm with a heavy bolter. I've got 3 of those.
Okay. Nice.
Probably need to change those out to heavy flamers.
Yeah.
Heavy flamers is what I got modeled, so I'm gonna change that out to heavy flamers.
Well, yeah, then you definitely have to.
I do prefer the flamers though, because you get out real fast on them. So 3 squads of that. 2 squads in Land Speeder Storms, and 1's a squad just on foot, just running around, having a good time.
I like that.
A unit of 3 stalkers.
Can't go wrong.
Because you know what? If someone's going to bring some air or whatever, I'm going to make them regret it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
225 points, I can just really punish the skies.
Yeah, I love it. That's so good.
Yeah. So then we get in the Ravenwing Strike Force. Of course, we got a Ravenwing Bike Squad with 2 grav guns and a combi grav, just to kind of be a distraction. And got the Ravenwing Dark Shroud with the heavy bolter. Got a unit of Black Knights, 4 Black Knights with Plasma Talons and Corvus Hammer. The Banner, of course, and Apothecary.
Okay.
Samael. Here's where things get a little hectic. Space Wolves, Company of the Great Wolf. Bike with Wolf Priest on a bike with runic armor.
Okay.
2 Iron Priest with 4 Cyber Wolves east on Thunder Wolves.
Best 165 in the game.
Best 160. So that's it. That's my army.
That's a good Death Star. I mean, it's so fast and it's going to hit so hard, and not even like just in punching. Like it's going to hit in the shooting phase is going to hurt people. Those Plasma Talons on those Black Knights are going to do work. Like there's a lot of like depth to that list.
Don't forget about with Plasma Cannon.
Yeah. Like, so what a lot of people are looking at some of like the way that we run Super Friends. This is a little different because you actually don't really want to be in combat that much with this. This is like, you want to, how I play it. You skirt around, you pick them apart, and then you wait for the opportune times to charge because you don't have that much hit outside of the Iron Priests.
Yeah, well, I think the Chapter Master would have something to say about that.
Well, yeah, him too. But
Samael's AP2.
Strength 4.
Still AP2. Making you make saves.
Yeah, I think if you Voltroned into units, I think it would be better.
Got the hammer. Well, not the hammer. The mallet. Got my aluminum bat on my Wolf Priest.
Yeah. That dude looks cool, man. Is it the same one that's on the quad?
Yeah. He's on a regular bike.
Oh, okay.
Just so you know what it is.
I love the quad gut.
Yep.
Those are your Thunderwolf stand-in. That's right.
Justin's got a good question here. He says, there was moonshine at the last tournament. Will there be moonshine at this tournament? I hope so. I don't necessarily want to call out the folks that made it, but I don't know if they're coming, but I've heard that they are. and I hope that they are, because that was some good moonshine.
Yeah, I know I'm bringing a special bottle of some fun, so I might have to get two because I have a feeling it's going to be so good.
We have to hold by hotel policy. We got to be getting stuff from the hotel as well. That's my. But I will. I don't know where the drink came from. If you offer it to me, I know it came from you, and it was good enough for me.
I found this in the back of the hotel.
Yeah. Hey. Sweet.
Yeah. Eagle Rare, 17
Yeah,
years.
Lamont, good to see you, man. I'm glad you made it. Yeah, congrats on that little one. I know it's got to keep your time pretty much constrained.
Yeah.
Cody, good to see you. Doc, I know we mentioned Kevin, Sal, Dean, Ash, Kent, we talked a minute ago. Justin, Troy, Steve keeps coming in. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Just wanted to we're going to have a short show today, so I wanted to at least make sure I got everyone that I saw coming in there. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. I'm building my buddies list too. He's taking a big fat unit of Ultramarine Thunderhammer Storm Shield guys, a Dante, and a Priest. So
yeah, that's going to be rough.
And a Librarian Conclave.
Yeah, that's a lot of people aren't going to understand how to deal with that.
Yeah, so he can be real tricksy when he needs to be. Coming in with some Tyrians.
That's going to be fun, man. I can't wait. Like, I want the play-by-play. I'll be at work.
I'll have to take some pictures because he is not the best player because he doesn't play as often as he should, but he knows that. He doesn't go into it. He just goes in it with the approach of trying to make fun things happen on the table.
Oh, man. Like, I remember at the last season, I ended up hovering around him for like 3 rounds. Just because he was having so much fun, it was hard to not want to be close to that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a real fun person to play against.
Yeah. He was using the Ogre launcher too, so.
He was.
I felt a little kindred spirit.
The Ogre launcher will not be at this one.
No.
Dante is taking the place of the Ogre launcher.
That's probably a better trade.
Yeah, so that big unit with all those rules now has hit and run.
Yeah, that's going to be sick, man.
Yeah.
Thunderhammer Storm Shields with hit and run. Ugh.
Yeah, he basically gets to have every rule that he needs. He's going to get through Psychic Powers or through Dante. It's going to be fun. I think
and the Priest, that Priest is going to augment them up pretty good too.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be sick, man. So before we roll out, I just have to say, what the hell? Who thought it was a good idea to make a squadron of freaking gargantuan creatures that have D weapons?
A squadron of Lords of War. Okay, Games Workshop, they pay attention to the community. They do. And they see all these restrictions. People are wanting one of this, one of that. Yeah. Well, now it's one unit. So it's one slot. You get one. Take as many as you want. I get 3 up to 3. But I mean, okay, Justin, but my philosophy is how do you balance this game? It's points and it's rules.
They're rules of river dancing all over your face.
But that thing is 360 points base. That's just for one of them.
It's a gargantuan creature. It can fire its weapons at different things. Like, it's not hindered by squadrons. That's what concerns me. But
if you bought another one, just base, what is it? That's 720 points. I don't think that your 720 points of those creatures could kill 720 points of what I would put together.
Oh, man. I got to get better rules because the ones that I saw were a little bit too blurry for my blindness.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But, man, I'm looking at it. I'm having a knee-jerk reaction. So, but, everybody, I do reserve the right to backpedal at some point.
Well, we can do that as a community now. It's accepted that that's what we do.
Yeah. I'm looking at this, though, and I'm thinking to myself that if it wasn't a gargantuan creature, I don't think I would even be mad right now because if it had to fire everything at one target, I'm okay with that because now you're overkilling and you're wasting points.
But they wouldn't have put all those guns on that creature and then only eliminated it to fire at one target, I don't think.
They should have. Because, okay, I take 3 and I sit as far back as I can and I blast. You charge me. I overwatch the crap out of you. And then with whatever you do have left, I start river dancing on you with 3 stomps all over the place. Just bah, 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 bah,
Well, we don't know how marker lights and stuff like that are going to work. We don't know if they'll have the overall Overwatch thing now. It's just everybody just hold tight. Everybody hold tight till we see. It's going to be. I mean, it's going to be obnoxious. We know it's going to be obnoxious.
Yeah, well, that's all Tau is obnoxious.
Yeah,
it's like a lot of people that they try to say that people that say, well, it hasn't won a tournament, like they're just overreacting. Well, it hasn't won a tournament for a reason. I feel about Tau the same way you feel about multiple Wraith Knights. All they do is create a bad experience, especially against some of the mid-range players that they're going there trying to do the best that they can, but then they get matched up against something that they just don't get to interact with, and then they fall off and then get that bad taste in their mouth.
Not only do they not get to interact with, they essentially have to sit there for 2 hours while the opponent rolls dice.
Yeah, it's so
That's
annoying.
bad. I mean, that's really bad. I timed during the first games after that Codex. Now it's gotten better. But I timed. Yeah. It's like my opponent had the dice in control for 2 hours of our 2.5 hours.
Yeah, ridiculous. Like, hey, let me roll 120 dice. Oh, they're all twin linked, and they all re-roll cover saves. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like there's re-rolls on re-rolls on re-rolls. It's just
But how do that's a question that we can ask right here, and then we'll answer it on the podcast. Is like, how do you make a shooting army fun to play against? Great, you got to make them great. The shooting army, and how do you make them fun to play against? And then how do you make that time fit within a structure of not? I mean, I don't want to sit down and play a 6-hour game on the weekend either. I mean, sometimes I do.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to be an 1856-hour game.
Yeah, very rarely would I want that, actually. So, I'm looking forward to that because I want to think about that and then definitely hit it on the podcast when we record later this week.
We'll do that. Well, guys, I really apologize for ending this one half an hour early. That is not what we're going to do. We're certainly going to keep doing this every Monday. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Again, I really do apologize. I'm not feeling all that great, so I need to rest up for work tomorrow.
Paul's just being a wuss, guys.
Justin was willing to hold it down. He actually scheduled it. That's why I had to go back and change the actual number of the.
I can't read. I can't count. What can I say? I don't know what I'm good at.
Keep those arms going.
Just keep curling. Keep curling.
Yeah. So, y'all, I'm sorry that we missed a bunch of this stuff. I will try to remember some of the stuff to talk about on our Wednesday recording.
I'll screenshot it all. We'll get to it.
That sounds good, man. Have a good rest of y'all's night, guys. Thanks again.
All right, take it easy, guys.